I said yes to every email I got for 1 month. And as a result of this, sitting here behind me are 9 tech products for us to take a look at today. At 403 subscribers, even smaller channels like me receive emails from time to time from brands looking to collaborate to showcase their products. Now, I haven't really agreed to do any collaborations like this yet, since my channel is on the smaller side. I was waiting until I established a bit of a bigger audience before I even opened the door to any brand deals. But after some further thought, I thought, hey, maybe it would be pretty interesting to see what kind of products a small tech YouTuber can get for free using opportunities like this. This video is inspired by one of Marques Brownlee's latest videos where he did the same thing, so I'll put a video link in the description if you want to check that out after this video. And keep in mind that this video is not sponsored by any of these brands. However, they did send me these products for free in exchange for an unbiased review. So let's take a look at them and start unboxing. Don't want to forget these. Firstly, let's start with the company that sent me the most amount of devices, which is SwitchBot. They were kind enough to send me their smart lock, blind tilt, remote, and the second generation of their smart home hub to control it all. Let's check them out. Let's start with the brains of the operation, which is the SwitchBot Hub 2. This little device has a lot of functionality with built-in sensors for temperature, humidity, and even light sensors, so you can easily monitor your home and use those things to trigger automations. So for example, if the light sensor detects that the brightness in a room is getting higher than what you had set the threshold at, it can automatically close your blinds. And alternatively, you can also just have it set up to alert you whenever one of these thresholds is met. So if the temperature goes too high or too low, or if the humidity does the same, you can have it alert you via the app just directly to your phone, or even have the device itself notify you by lighting up or making a sound. And obviously, being a smart home hub, that does mean that it's going to make interacting with your SwitchBot products a lot easier. It connects all of the SwitchBot products that you have directly to the hub to be controlled, as opposed to relying on a Wi-Fi connection. So that means that you're going to have a much quicker and just more reliable connection to control your devices through your phone. And as far as capability goes, this thing is armed with Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and Matter support. Matter support is one of the new features on this home hub, and I think it is probably one of the greatest ones too, because it gives you the ability to control your devices without a Wi-Fi connection. Matter is supposed to be the new universally supported smart home language, so this is definitely going to be future-proof for your devices as well. And that Matter support is also going to mean that you have a seamless integration with HomeKit. So if you are in the Apple ecosystem like I am, HomeKit is automatically integrated, and you can control your devices through your iPhone, Apple Watch, or your Mac. And lastly, those 2 little buttons that are on the front of the device can also be used as smart buttons to trigger automations. This hub with all the functionality comes in at a price of $69.99. Now that we've got the hub all set up, let's connect it to our second SwitchBot product, which is the blind tilt. This is a way for you to retroactively change your run-of-the-mill existing blinds into smart blinds by adding this device. It comes with this little motor that attaches to the rods on your blind, and that's the way that it's going to open and close your blinds automatically or remotely. It also comes with a solar panel too, so you'll have a constant source of energy. As long as the solar panel gets a few hours of sun every day, they consider this a never-ending battery, so you shouldn't have to ever charge the 2000 milliamp hour battery. A cool part of this solar panel too is that it does also allow you to automate the blinds to automatically open or close with the sun, depending on what that solar panel is detecting. Now, I will admit I was a little bit confused and overwhelmed when I first opened this box, because there's a lot of little parts and pieces that I had to sort through, and it was kind of confusing to figure out what all I actually needed versus what was a spare part or an additional part that's just there for sizing. And what I mean by that is some of the parts they have duplicates of in different sizes, just so you can make sure it fits properly on your blinds. So you won't end up using a lot of the small pieces, only the ones that fit specifically on your blinds. But after you are able to kind of sort through everything, the install was fairly simple. It's all done just using adhesive tape, so nothing is permanent. Now, I don't have the time to go into the install on each one of these devices in this video, so I will be making separate videos detailing the installation process. If you want to watch those, make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss those. Now, once it is installed, you can rest assured, because from there it's extremely easy and pretty intuitive the way that you can control your blinds through the app. It's really just a matter of sliding your finger up and down so you can adjust the blinds, and it actually gives you a visual of how the blinds are going to look once it adjusts to that level. But what I really like is that this device doesn't just allow you to fully open or fully close your blinds, it actually lets you control it by percentage. So you can really tweak it and customize it to be at the exact level you want it to be. Even if you only want to open just a little bit or most of the way but not fully, you can absolutely do so. Or there are some preset buttons in the app. If you do want to fully open or fully close it, that's an option too. Now once you're in the SwitchBot app, you do have a few different options and settings that you can customize to really make these blinds your own. As with most smart devices, you can set it on a schedule so that they open or close at a certain time every day. As I said before, you can use the solar panel to detect the sun so that the blinds open and close as the sun goes up and down. And in the settings, you can also control how loud this unit is. I would say personally, in my opinion, it's not very loud to begin with, even in its performance mode. There is also a quiet mode that you can adjust to as well. In this mode, the motor does go a little bit slower when it's adjusting, but it does make it even quieter as far as operation goes. So if you want to make sure that you have a quiet space, or if it's in an area that you don't want to wake people up, this is a good setting to have to make sure it's even quieter than it could be. Another cool feature of this one that I like is that you can still manually adjust the blinds as well. It's not going to affect the motor because it's disengaged when it's not in use, and then the app will automatically adjust and update according to what you set the blinds at, so you can still use it on your phone or via automations after you adjust it manually. So these are all functionalities that you'll have just with the blind tilt itself. But as I said before, you can also connect your SwitchBot devices to the SwitchBot hub, and that does add a lot more functionality too. Mainly what it does is it gives you the ability to control your blinds with your voice assistant. Alexa, close office window. And as I said previously, since you have Matter on this device that supports HomeKit, you can also adjust your blinds using your iPhone directly from the control center if you're in the HomeKit ecosystem. So overall, what are my thoughts on this device? Well, let me tell you, when I moved into this house, I did look into getting smart blinds installed everywhere or just purchasing them to install myself. And let me tell you, it is crazy expensive to get smart blinds. At $69.99, this device does give you all the functionality that you'll want with smart blinds at a much more affordable price. Next up is an accessory that will work perfectly with the blind tilt that we just installed, which is the SwitchBot remote. Obviously, this button is also compatible with other SwitchBot devices too, like the SwitchBot curtain, LED light strip, or color bulb, to name a few. And setting up this remote is one of the simplest ones yet. All you have to do is hold the two buttons down to have it automatically connect to the app. It does also come with a wall mount too, which also has sticky tape on the back, so you can place this remote wherever you want. I put it right here next to my light switch. Now once it's connected to the app, you can go into the settings to actually assign what each button will do when you press it. Obviously there's two buttons on it, so each of them can have their own independent functions, which can range from anything like turning a light on or off, or opening and closing your blinds. Another perk of this too is that, similar to the buttons on the SwitchBot hub, you can also have more complex automations that are triggered via these buttons. It doesn't have to be as simple as on and off. It can do something more complex like closing the blinds, turning the lights off, and locking the door. And this remote is our cheapest device yet at $19.99. Now lastly, for the SwitchBot products, and to be honest the one that I was most excited to try out, is the SwitchBot lock. This is a non-intrusive and non-permanent way to turn almost any deadbolt into a smart lock. This was actually the product that I requested from SwitchBot when they emailed me originally. I didn't know they were going to send me all the extra stuff. But what I really liked about this one is that you do not have to remove your existing hardware or screw or drill anything in. That means that the installation is a lot less involved than it is with a lot of smart locks, and it also means that this is a perfect lock for homeowners or for renters alike. That does also mean that on the outside of your door, there's going to be no indication that you have a smart deadbolt installed, which for me is a plus because I like the idea of not giving that away just for privacy reasons. So yeah, just having it on the inside is nice too. Once you open up the box, you'll again find a lot of parts and little pieces that you don't necessarily need all of. But again, after reading the instructions, dry fitting things on your door, and adjusting the lock itself, you'll end up using only the parts that you need that fit your specific door, and you can just stow away the rest. Installation is as simple as sticking it onto the door and setting it in place that way. Just make sure that the lock turns freely before you actually stick anything down, and then they do say to push it for 2 minutes after you install it, just to make sure that there's no resistance or any issues with it staying on when it's in operation. Now, I was a little bit worried when I was trying to dry fit everything because I could not figure out a way for this lock to fit on my door. With the way that the deadbolt was shaped, it was kind of interfering with the body of the SwitchBot device itself. So I was worried that it somehow just wasn't going to fit. But after some thought and a little bit of research, I actually found out that you do not have to install this lock in the upright position. You can really install it in any position that works best for your specific door. So in my case, I was actually able to just flip it upside down and install it that way, and it's worked great. You can also do it sideways even if you need to. Now to touch on that a little bit more, as far as compatibility goes, this lock isn't going to work with every door ever, but it does work with most, and they have a compatibility checker on their website if you want to make sure that it fits your door before you buy it. Now after using this lock and testing it out for a while, I have found a lot of nice features that I really like about it. First one is that it keeps a log of all the timestamps of when your door was opened or closed. You can also set it to give you notifications on the SwitchBot app or from the device itself. It makes a little sound to let you know if you left the door open or if you left the door unlocked. And one of my favorite features of having a smart lock in general is that you can also set it to automatically lock anytime you close the door, so you can have that peace of mind in knowing that the door is locked at all times. Another plus that I was not expecting to find in the box is that this lock does also come with 2 NFC tags that you can use to control the door as well. Using the SwitchBot app, you can write these NFC tags and then just place them wherever you want it for you to be able to scan it with your phone and open or lock the door whenever you need to, or even from your smart voice assistant. Alexa, lock the front door.
Locking. Hang on.
They do also sell a keypad separately, so if you do want something on the outside that you can just type in a passcode or use your fingerprint on, that is an option. So overall thoughts, I had a great experience using this lock. I've been looking for a long time to get a smart deadbolt like this, but there aren't a lot of them on the market that have what I want, which is just being on the inside and not having any indication on the outside that it's a smart lock. I like the idea that you don't have to uninstall any of your existing hardware and that it really just works with whatever you have existing currently. I had a great experience using this lock and I do look forward to continuing to use it. The price point is pretty good too, at $110. It gives you all the features you probably want on a smart deadlock, and it's also a lot cheaper than similar products like the August lock. So those are all the SwitchBot products. Let's take a look at the next brand. Now let's take a look at the products that were sent to me from Zera. Now, if you have already watched any of my previous videos where I show my phone, you might already know that I usually go caseless with my iPhone and use this MagSafe pop socket as a holder. However, Zera sent me this MagSafe kickstand case to try out, so I have been using it for the past 2 or so weeks. Firstly, as far as aesthetics go, I do think this is a pretty good looking case. It's transparent so you can see the color of your iPhone through it. They also offer a black version though, if that's more your style. It has a solid build quality and some nice metal trim by the buttons and around the camera lenses. Now, more important than aesthetics would be protection, so let's talk about that too. It fully covers my iPhone, obviously, in any of the spots where you have exposed glass. There is a lip over the front of the screen for protection in case you drop it, and even better, I really like that the back of the case also protrudes over the lenses of the cameras. So your lenses will be fully protected in case there is a fall or a slip up with your phone. This case definitely feels nice in the hand and it is very sturdy, so I'm very confident that it would do well at protecting my phone. Now, as far as the other features and functions go, obviously on the back of the phone you do have that metal strip for MagSafe capability. So you can put any MagSafe capable item on there and it attaches via that magnet. That MagSafe part is also the same part that turns into a kickstand. And to be honest, pulling out the kickstand was a little bit more difficult than I expected it to be. It might work better for someone who has longer nails than I do, but it was kind of hard to get my fingernail in there enough to pull it out. But once you pull it out, as a phone stand, it does hold the phone very well in both positions, horizontally and vertically. You do have a little bit of leeway too where you can adjust it so you get your phone at the right viewing angle. Now they do also market this case as a ring holder too. So once you pull the stand out, instead of using it as a stand, if you pick your phone up, you can slide your finger into that ring and then use it to hold your phone in a more comfortable position. But really, to be honest with you, I personally would not use it like that. I've tried using it as a ring holder in several different cases on different days, and although it does line up pretty well as a ring holder as far as the grip goes, the issue that I had with it is that the inside of the metal where your finger actually goes when you're holding it feels kind of sharp. If that spot was rounded over a little bit more, I think it would work a lot better, and I would probably use it as a ring holder too. But as I told you before, I do normally use a MagSafe pop socket to hold my phone, and since this is a MagSafe case, I was able to use them in conjunction with each other, which worked perfectly. So overall, for $26.99, I'd say this is a very solid option for a phone case. I love that it also has a built-in stand, but especially the MagSafe capability is really important for me, and I like that a lot. Oh, and actually another thing that I really liked about it is that it also is MagSafe charging capable, which does lead me into the next product, the Zera MegFold. This is a 3-in-1 foldable wireless charging station that can be used to charge an iPhone, AirPods, and an Apple Watch all at the same time. It plugs in with only one cord to charge all three, and because of the foldability, you can actually put it into a few different shapes depending on how you want to use it. You can have it fully closed and folded, where you can only charge one device at a time if you're only needing one. You can lay it out flat to charge all three at the same time, or since there's magnets in there, you can actually put it into a triangle shape too, to kind of use it like a little phone stand. It's very satisfying to hold this one too. It has a very nice and high build quality, and the fact that there are strong magnets in there kind of makes it fun to fidget with too when it's not in use. Again, it does have MagSafe, so you can wirelessly charge a phone and make sure it's lined up properly with MagSafe. The spot that charges your Apple Watch actually folds out and up, so you can have your watch stood up properly. And then for the AirPods, that one does not have MagSafe, but AirPods don't need MagSafe, so you just place it on there and it'll charge wirelessly. This charger is $49.99, so I wouldn't say that it's cheap, but you do pay for the convenience that you get and for just a nice high build quality on a device like this. And this charger does come with a USB-C cord automatically in the box, but actually the last item that Zera sent me was a different and kind of more high quality USB-C cord that could be used with this. So let's check that out. This is Zera's 40-watt USB-C cable. It can be used to easily and quickly transfer files between devices, or also just as a charging cable. I've actually been using this cord with the MegFold that we just talked about ever since I got them, because this cord is a lot longer than the cord that came with the MegFold. But this one is pretty simple. It's a high quality braided cable that also has a little Velcro strap on it for easy storage when it's not in use. I did notice while opening this cord up and checking it out that it is clearly branded with the words the Voxen on the ends of each side of the cable, and after I looked it up on Zera's website, it looks like the Voxen is another wireless charging station that they offer. So I'm not sure why this exact cord was sent to me, but I am happy with it and it's worked very well, especially in conjunction with the MegFold. Our next brand is ProtoArc. They sent me some pretty cool accessories that can be used with my Mac and iPad. And first up is their 2-in-1 mouse. ProtoArc actually specifically designed this mouse to be used with MacBooks and with iPads. So obviously, as you can tell, it's a wireless mouse, but actually nestled within the mouse, you can pull out a separate device, which is a USB-C hub. And this works perfectly because it gives you access to a USB-A and to an HDMI port as well. Now, as far as the mouse itself and its functionality, like I said before, it's wireless, but you can actually connect it in two different ways. The USB-C hub does act as a receiver for the mouse, so whatever device you have it plugged into, the mouse will automatically connect to. But another feature of this mouse is you can actually connect it to 3 different devices at the same time, and it does that through Bluetooth. There's a little button on the bottom of the mouse that you can press to switch between devices. So again, if you have a productivity workflow you like to follow and you're working on your MacBook, and then you need to switch over to your iPad, just press the button, switch it to your iPad, and then you can do the same even if you want to connect it to an iPhone. As far as the specs of this mouse go, it feels super lightweight, which makes sense because they say it's actually only 2.79 ounces. On the inside, you'll find a 300 milliamp hour battery, and it's rechargeable via a USB-C cord. This mouse does also have a quiet click, which is nice because I don't like mouses that are crazy loud. So I've enjoyed using this mouse, and it's important too if you have a shared workspace or any spot where you want to work quietly that you don't have a mouse that's too clicky. So now for the specs on the hub. This again is 3-in-1. On the left side you'll have a 60-watt quick charge USB-C port. That means you can keep charging your Mac or using your Mac to charge other devices while this is plugged in. The middle port is a USB-A 3.0 port. So that can be used obviously to transfer files quickly and easily, or if you just have any devices you need to plug in that don't have USB-C, which are usually older devices, this is an easy way to do so. And on the right side of the hub, you have a 4K HDMI port. So if you're going to use your device to present and you need to plug in an HDMI to use an external monitor, this is going to give you the ability to do so. Now, to be honest with you, the only real downside I could think of after using this port and testing it out is that it does end up blocking my second USB-C port that's already on the Mac. Since it has a kind of wide form factor, it does plug in and block whichever port I'm not using at that time, which is unfortunate, but at least for me, luckily, I never really need to plug in two things at the same time with my workflow, so it hasn't gotten in the way too much. And it is nice at least that you do have a USB-C port available in the hub, so that way you're not taking it up and not having any USB-C capability at all. Now the price for this mouse and hub combination is $79.99. And lastly, let's take a look at ProtoArc's XK01 Trifold Bluetooth keyboard. This is a full-size 105 key foldable keyboard, and it's very lightweight at 10.5 ounces, so it's perfect for when you're on the go or traveling. It has a trifold design, so each one of the sides folds into the middle when you're done using it, and it has magnets in there too, so to be honest, it is kind of satisfying to use this one. It just feels very mechanical, and it has a nice click to it when you're folding it up. And similar to the mouse, it does also allow for quiet typing because the click of the keys is not very loud. Inside you have a 210 milliamp hour battery, which is also rechargeable via USB-C. And this one does also have the same capability as the mouse does when it comes to being able to connect to 3 separate devices at the same time. Now to switch between devices on this one is even easier. There's some orange keys on the front of the keyboard, so all you have to do is press the orange key that references the correct device and it'll switch over automatically via Bluetooth. And a kind of random note, but something that I did like about this one is there is also a screenshot button. I take a lot of screenshots on my MacBook, which requires you to press 3 keys at the same time, so having this keyboard only one button is a lot easier. And honestly, just overall, I had a pretty good experience using this keyboard. I actually used it and the mouse that they sent me to edit most of this video. The price of this keyboard is $39.99. And that's it for the ProtoArc and for all of my devices. So now let's take a look and review everything. Overall, as you've seen, I had a good experience with every product and every device that was sent to me today. And obviously that means even small YouTubers like me can receive a lot of nice and very high quality products for free just in exchange for a review. But again, when I'm being honest, I really did enjoy using all these products. So if you're interested in checking out any of these devices in this video, make sure you use my affiliate links in the description below. I do get a commission for any sales that are made through my links, so if you're kind enough to use them, I would appreciate it. And actually, each one of these brands has offered me an exclusive discount code that I can give you guys to save money if you end up buying anything. Make sure that you use my code WyattTech with 3 T's at checkout, and you'll get 10% off of each one of these devices, no matter which brand. And again, I just wanted to say thanks to SwitchBot, thank you to Zira, and thank you to ProtoArc for sending these devices for me to check out. Much appreciated. If you learned something new in this video, or if you liked what you saw, please make sure to leave me a like. It really helps out my channel a lot. And if you did enjoy this video, I really think you'll enjoy this one as well. Thank you so much for watching.